What's up, guys? I'm Chase.
And I'm Landon, and today we're unboxing the Nike Dunk High Fragment Beijing.
All right, so starting off with the box, it's gonna come in the kind of the premier version of the Nike boxes. It's just that black and glossy Nike box. You know, usually they have the red or the orange for the lower prices, and so this one comes in a black. So it is the higher premier Nike box, but no actually significant Fragment branding around the entire box.
Yeah, actually none at all. So that's interesting, but you are going to be paying $150 for these, so a little bit higher than your typical Dunk Highs at like 120, 110, something like that. So just a little bit of a price jump there, but with the collab, that's what you'd expect. But we hit these off a raffle. We're pumped to get these in. We didn't expect to get them, so we're gonna go ahead and check these out. Let's unbox them.
Let's do it. All right, so first impressions off these is, I'm just gonna say it. I don't know. So we do actually have the Syracuse. And comparing the Syracuse leather to the leather on these Fragments, I am seeing slight differences. The Syracuse has like this kind of different texture to it, while actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that back. I do see it now. It is the same texture as the Syracuse Dunk, but it's just harder to see because it has
a darker color. Probably right. It's easier to see in white.
Yeah,
it's easier to see in white. So these are actually like, these are expected to release in a few. So this is a few different colorways. This is the Beijing, and then they're expecting like a London and like a New York color scheme as well. So that's gonna be something to look forward to. I like this color scheme a lot. The black and the dark purple are very close to each other, but I mean, other than that, it does look a lot like a basic black and purple Dunk.
Yeah, and like I said with the box, you know, not a lot of branding on the box, and when it comes to the actual shoe itself, you know, you just have the Fragment logo on the back heel on both shoes, and then also you have the midsole, what would you call that, text or font?
Yeah, just some font. It's just like that. I don't want to say deconstructed, but like they just slap the model number and like the style code and like the
season,
colorway, the colorway name and all that right there on the side, just in some plain text.
I like it. It's different. I like it for some to give it some character compared to a typical Dunk, you know, with no collab.
Before these even came out, I was looking at like photos of them online, and I kept seeing that there, and it reminded me like of someone putting their brand there if it was like their photo, you know, like I was like, right. Oh, someone like watermarked that.
Yeah.
And then they came, and now I'm seeing it in person. I'm like, yeah, because on photos you see it from the side. You got that right there. I'm like, oh, someone watermarked this photo. I wonder why. That's interesting. It's like, no wonder I couldn't find any photo without it on there.
And
that makes a lot of sense.
It looks like also on the tongue comes in the Nike. It's got that purple, same color as the main color blocking of the Dunk, the purple Nike swoosh, and purple font in the back of the tongue.
And then the color scheme is actually going to be like, so you got like that dark plum or purple on here. It's going to be like the base color. Then you have black overlays, and that's interesting because this is part of the city pack, like we said, and it like released in 2010 with like reverse color blocking on one of the shoes. Like everywhere that's purple would be black, and then everywhere that's black would be purple. So like, I thought that was interesting because if you just go to GOAT and you're looking at the first photo, it shows the right shoe, which is actually reverse color blocking from this. So like, yeah, I thought that was, I actually think I like this better though. It's more purple. It's got to be more purple, right? There's more purple than black on this, or is it pretty even? I don't know.
It's hard to tell, honestly though. But if I were gonna compare the 2010 model, which I don't have in hand, to these, I really wish Nike did stay to its roots and did a switch on one shoe with one color blocking like they did with the 2010. Because if they really were gonna re-release these, you know, why not go all the way? I mean, I get it, like maybe you want to save the character with the 2010 and keep that one original, but also like if you're gonna re-release it, might as well go all the way.
Well, I feel like too, it's like it's kind of a darker color scheme. Like you got dark purple and black. Like if you're looking at the photos online, it's almost hard to tell what the color scheme is if you don't have a really high quality photo. So I feel like with it being that more neutral and dark color scheme, you could have done that and it really wouldn't be that mismatchy. Like
No.
you see some people who
Yeah.
release shoes like one shoe's neon red and the other one's neon yellow.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, it's a pack. But like this is something where I feel like you could have swapped it and kept it the same, and it would have been, I think people would have appreciated that. And I think it's reflected in the resale value for these because
Yeah.
it's not much. It's really not much for something that you got basic dunks. You got a lot of basic dunks selling around the same. I'm pretty sure those Syracuse dunks are around the same price as these right now, and they were cheaper. So it's like, that's confusing to me.
Yeah, honestly, when after the release, I was kind of shocked with the resale value, and how it came out, because, you know, with so much history with this shoe, being that this shoe alone will not release for another 10 years
At the least.
at the least. And you know, but honestly, if you think about it, that kind of makes sense with, you know, how Nike is releasing so many dunks, that I think they kind of really killed the dunk
They're
hype.
trying to squash the dunk hype.
And, you know, with that being said, that these will continue to gain value with that history. Hopefully that, you know, not in 10 years that it's crazy price, but I feel like the resale prices will pick up on these.
For sure.
And then lastly, I wanted to point out that these insoles do have the Fragment logo in the purple color that you see on the outside as well.
So at least they found a way to
little
put
touch.
a little bit more
Yeah.
in there.
But,
I mean, sometimes less is more. You know, you have the Jordan 3s that released with that big Fragment logo on the back. So I mean, that was an easy, like instead of the Nike Air, they just swapped that out and threw the Fragment logo on there. I thought that was really cool, and that even underperformed.
Yeah.
That underperformed like crazy. People thought that was gonna run numbers.
I don't know. Fragments, it's interesting. It's interesting what Fragment's doing. They're not doing too much. So I don't know if they
But they're not doing too much on a shoe, but they're doing a lot of shoes. Like they got, I don't know if you've seen, they have a bunch of collabs coming out. Like with Travis Scott,
Big
they
collabs.
got like Sakai collab with Fragment coming out. So like Fragment's making a bunch of moves. Maybe they just didn't have a lot of time to focus on this one, and it's a re-release. You can't do too much with a re-release, you know. I think you have to kind of take that with a grain of salt.
That's very
You
true.
can't do too much with a re-release.
Right. At least they stuck. Yeah, they didn't try to change it up too much.
Yeah.
So, you know, overall, what are your thoughts on these? Give it a rating.
Rating 1 to 5, right?
1 to 5.
1 to 5. So I'm gonna be a little biased here because I love purple. Purple's like my favorite. It's our color. It's our shoe wear color. So like I love purple. So, you know, the details are nice. Fragment logo, really nice. I wish it'd be bigger. I don't know where you can put it on a dunk that would make it bigger though. You know, I mean, you every dunk's gonna more or less look like this. Maybe you could have done they've done a lot of wear away technology now, like revealing stuff underneath. They maybe could have slapped something like that on there, but even with where it's at right now, box included, being basic, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
4 to 5.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I forgot we're doing 5. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5.
Wow.
It's solid. You know, it did what it was supposed to do. You can't do too much with it. You got to be able to judge it. But I actually just had that realization right now that like, you can't expect them to, you know, go crazy on a re-release. You just can't do it. That's just not. It's just not the way it's gonna go. So everything considered, 4 to 5. What about you?
Interesting perspective. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5, and the only reason I gave it a 3 out of 5 is because there's history. It's more like a 2.8, if I'm being honest, just because
You can't do 2.8. If anything, you got to do it in increments of 0.5.
Well, okay.
But 2.8 is closer to a 3 than a 2.5.
The reason why I'm giving it a 3 is because of the history. If this didn't have history and this was like a brand new no re-release, it would be a 2.
Okay, well, this is your final rating. 3 or 2.5.
It's gonna
you
be
can rate by 0.5.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. At least we got on the 5. That's all thanks to the history. But yeah, like you said, you know, overall design's nice. You can't do too much with it, but you also can't go wrong. I mean, like, it's a really nice colorway. It's got some deep meaning to it. You got the Fragment branding on there. It's not just a basic Nike dunk.
It's wearable
like
too.
Some of the other ones, very wearable, pretty comfortable. So yeah, overall, pretty nice shoe. All right, that's going to wrap it up for unboxing on the Nike Dunk High Fragment Beijing. Thank you guys for taking some time to watch.
And definitely let us know in the description what your rating is of these fragments.
1 to 5.
But until next episode, peace.